What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Todd Phillips continues to be a bastion of sanity in today's modern entertainment world. He has come out against woke culture and said that it's essentially ruining comedy, something most normal people have already known. When you look at the way that the industry reacts to various things like, I don't know, for example, Dave Chappelle's comedy, or any joke that maybe is a little too edgy or makes fun of a protected class of people, it has made modern cinema and modern comedy boring, riskless, forgetful, just limp. Good jokes these days are few and far between because good jokes take risks. Good jokes don't use a progressive victimhood stack. Good jokes are funny, and modern comedy is no longer funny. It's why fewer and fewer people are going to the movies. And Todd Phillips, everything that he's taken, all the baloney he's getting over his recent film, has explained exactly what a lot of us know. When it was announced that Todd Phillips was the man who could co-write and direct Joker, people were shocked. Not because Phillips is tackling a comic book film, or even because he's some sort of terrible filmmaker, but instead because he's best known for his types of comedies, like The Hangover. But according to the director, there's a very good reason he ditched comedy for the hard-hitting, dramatic Joker. That is woke culture. Outside the Hangover franchise, the director is also known as the helmer behind comedy films like Old School, Road Trip, and Starsky and Hutch. By the way, all films that were quite funny. Not necessarily the CV that would lend itself to making an R-rated hard-boiled crime film such as Joker. Speaking to Vanity Fair, Phillips explained why it's unlikely he'll ever go back to comedies making it anytime soon. Go try and be funny nowadays with this woke culture, Phillips said. There were articles written about why comedies don't work anymore. I'll tell you why. It's because the effing funny guys are like, screw this because I don't want to offend you. Yes, 1,000 times yes, Todd Phillips. This might be exactly why your film is receiving all the backlash it is. Maybe many of these journals knew this is exactly how you felt. He continued, it's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter. You just can't do it, right? So you just go, I'm out. And you know what? With all my comedies, I think with what comedies in general all have in common is they're irreverent. So I go, how do I do something irreverent but forget comedy? Oh, I know. Let's take a comic book movie universe and turn it on its head with this. And that's where this really came from. Joker isn't the director's first foray into post-comedy world, despite the obvious humor. One could argue his previous film War Dogs is the bridge between the Todd Phillips that brought us Hangover and the man behind the new comic book film that is expected to get some serious Oscar consideration. So despite the filmography with broad comedies, it would appear that the filmmaker is entering a new phases in his career. If you don't like it, you should blame society, or so Phillips says. Well, I don't disagree with him. And right on schedule, woke internet is here to be offended. And when you look at a lot of the reactions, of course, most complaints about woke/cancel culture boils down to this. Before social media, communities without a platform typically were left out of the conversation. They didn't think you were funny then either. You just never had to hear the reactions before and you hate it. You can make a market and market anything you want and make most outrageous offensive comedy of all time. Go for it. But if the people don't go or they hate it, then that's not you being canceled. That's how art works. Touchy diaper baby. Sorry, the wrong audiences got louder. This is the exact type of response you would expect from woke culture. And no, they're not correct in this. Because to be quite honest, if these films couldn't have stood on their own, they wouldn't have made it then. Films like Hangover, which is universally known by the millennial generation, and most people can quote several lines from the film. It's pretty much a movie that maybe couldn't even be made these days right now. And if you look at Twitter, they're outraged. They are losing their ever-loving minds because, of course, that's what they do. In fact, that is literally proving Todd's point. Looking at all these people losing their minds, here's Todd Phillips. The whole Todd Phillips woke culture thing reminds me once again that people are alarmingly unable to separate vulgarity from bad behavior. I can't have a joke where someone yells this into a phone, therefore all your jokes are ruined forever. Yes, of course, you are outraged. But Jim points out isn't being outraged over Todd Phillips' comments on comedy basically proving his points? Yes, it absolutely is. But you get internet troll like Scott Mendelson saying, as someone who liked Joker, I really wish Todd Phillips would stop talking and just let Joaquin Phoenix speak for the film. Well, the thing is, Todd Phillips is answering questions. Todd Phillips isn't out there forcing his opinion on people. He is out there answering the questions that woke journalists are offering him. And you know what? I'm not going to say anything else in this video other than I hope that you leave a like, a comment, and you consider sharing it. Because, Todd, we agree with you. Woke culture has ruined comedy, and it needs to end. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Above, you'll find some links to watch more videos, as well as a nice big button to subscribe, which I hope you'll do. If you did enjoy it, make sure before you go that you leave a like and a comment on the video, because you are the #1 reason this channel continues to grow, and I appreciate you.